Hello friends, welcome back to my blind playthrough of Planescape Torment. This is episode 39, and we are still here in the Clerk Ward, exploring the place for the first time. So we just spoke to Abel Ponderthought, who told us quite a lot of things. It's all listed here in my journal, but yeah, he basically told us about all the different factions and what they represent, and we finally got a real breakdown of what they're like, because until now it's been mostly like name drops here and there, and I've been kind of left to figure out a lot of things for myself. But this was really like the first person who gave us a full-on overview of probably not every faction, since there are supposed to be 15 of them, and we got a good overview of, like, I don't know, 8, 9, maybe 10. But most of the relevant ones, certainly. So we learned about the Society of Sensation, the Believers of the Source, the Dustmen, the Harmonium, the Mercy Killers, right? I think the most interesting one was the Revolutionary League. He explained to me that the Revolutionary League is widespread in Sigil. God, I mispronounced it again. Happens every now and then. They hold the belief that all institutions have been established to block their access to the truth of the multiverse, which, the truth of the multiverse, whatever that means, sounds pretty important. The only way they see to discover the truth is to tear down all organization. They claim that the truth can only be discovered when people are completely free. And of course, the Chaositects, which I'm now pronouncing with at the beginning, who want to embrace the random chaos of the multiverse to learn its secrets. So, we will keep an eye out for members of these different factions, in case we run into any today. Now, who else is there that we haven't talked to? We talked to cafe patrons. We talked to this one. I assume this one is basically the same. But let's try it, just in case. This finely dressed, well-groomed man is relaxing here, enjoying the outside air while sipping at a beverage purchased from the nearby cafe. Greetings. Greetings to... He pauses when he finally takes a good look at you. Ah, to you as well, sir. He smiles uneasily. Of course, our appearance doesn't exactly inspire, well, confidence or any sorts of positive feelings, really. Something troubling about my appearance? Yeah, so this is basically the same thing that the other one told us, right? Worldly-looking fellow. Okay, basically the same conversation, it seems. So I'm not gonna go over that again, and instead we will keep going south here, right? Because there are a lot of places that we haven't yet discovered. I think we spent the entire last episode in the Clerk's Ward, and only got this far. Maybe it wasn't the entire episode, I'm not sure. Now, there's the Brothel of Slating Intellectual Lusts, which definitely sounds like the most interesting place around here. Although there are a lot of interesting places that we've heard of, so I'm excited to get to any of them. This is the Advocate's home, though, so yeah, let's maybe go there, seeing as I'm quite close. What about this Clerk's Ward citizen, though? Have I talked to a citizen yet? This clean, well-dressed man is clearly on his way somewhere. He stops and glances over you. He seems slightly taken aback at your appearance. Do I, know you, sir? Okay, it seems kind of like, it seems kind of like like a similar sort of conversation. I think Abel Ponderthought really gave us all the information that we need. He gave us probably much more than we will ever learn from these regular citizens. So let's not spend any more time here. Maybe we'll talk to the harlot later. Let's talk to the advocate now. Advocate's house. Ooh. Okay, this is like a proper house. This is a manor almost. This is a very luxury establishment in a way that we haven't really seen in this game up until now. Well, not much anyway. I'm struggling to think of a single place that was this fancy, you know? And we have the Advocate, of course. Now, what is this? This is a solid crystal tank with several fish frozen inside? Okay. So he does have an aquarium, but it's frozen. And I wonder why that would be the case. This is a beautiful silver mirror. And over here, nothing. Okay, let's talk to them. Now, hang on, what race are you? You seem to have a tail. You seem to be... Are you a tiefling? This man is dressed in... Does he really have a tail? Oh no, maybe it was just his clothing. Okay. Looked weird there for a second. This man is dressed in soft blue robes covered with intricate designs. Despite their opulence, however, the robes look wrinkled and worn. You place the man's age somewhere between middle age and early 60s. The worry lines make an exact determination difficult. As you enter, the man turns slowly towards you. As he does, you are suddenly struck with the terrible sense that you know this man. Or did at one time. Okay, someone from our past again. Greetings. The man squints, as if trying to place you. Yes. Is there something that I can help you with? Who are you?
Updated my journal.
I am Ioannis. Yeah, I think we did hear that name, didn't we? He studies you and frowns. Where are you looking for me? When I say I heard that name, it's probably just someone told me about the Advocate. I don't think I heard it anywhere else, really. What is this place? I am an advocate. These are my offices. Ioannis' voice takes on an irritated edge. Do you seek counsel? If not, perhaps you had best test your curiosity elsewhere. Yes, what's an advocate? Maybe I do seek counsel. Just not the kind that you usually provide.
Updated my journal.
Ioannis' frown deepens. An advocate provides counsel, helps others navigate the labyrinths of Sigil's legal system, arranges legacies for citizens to ensure that their property is divided as they choose upon death, defends those in Sigil's courts who have been wrongly accused. He pauses. Did you need help in any of these areas? Legacies. Basically another word for inheritance, right? They are contracts that are deliverable at the death of the client. They provide specifics on how a person's possessions are to be divided upon the event of their demise. I have also heard them called wills. I mean, I'm kind of an expert on dividing someone's possessions after their demise, you know? Usually all their possessions just go in my inventory. And that's how I like it. Interesting. Are they anything like Dustman contracts? Well, not really. I mean, they are alike in the sense that they take effect upon the person's death, right? But I guess the Dustman contracts don't really pertain to the person's possessions, but their body, you know? Oh my, no! The Dustman contracts, while they are deliverable at the time of the client's death, bequeath the client's body to the Dustman. Not a pleasant business at all, but some who are poor of means find the Dustman contract to be a means of support. Interesting. I can ask about invalidating a Dustman contract, which reminds me of that quest that we did way back. So maybe this is related to the quest. Maybe if I hadn't done it until now, I could learn here a different method to do what I did, you know, abolish the contract, basically make the Dustman rescind the contract, if that's the right word. How would one go about invalidating a Dustman contract? Tell me.
Updated my journal.
He frowns slightly. One that is already signed. Little or nothing can be done once the signature is in place. The Dustman contract is quite specific on the destination of the corpse after death. Without the destruction of the contract, there is really nothing that could be done. Do I owe you anything for this information? If he doesn't tell us that we owe him anything, it's better not to ask, right? Or maybe no. Maybe if I ask now, I can get away with paying. I can. What am I trying to say? I can just pay less than if we wait for him to maybe do some legal nonsense and make us pay even more, you know? So maybe I should ask now, but You know what, let's ask. Do I owe you anything for this information? I am not the sort to charge others for giving them aid of this sort. He smiles slightly. I am an advocate, not a rug merchant, and greed is not permitted to step into my office. Honestly, that sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? Have I really been conditioned to think that all lawyers are scumbags? Maybe. I guess that's the way they are portrayed in pop culture, you know, and just the general mentality of the people. But maybe he is one of the good ones, or maybe he's thinking of an even worse way to fuck me over, you know. So I don't know. I guess I'll say I'm grateful, and perhaps there is something else you could help me with. Very well. What is it I can help you with? Oh wow, here we go. There are so many questions. Have we met before? The man studies you for a moment, frowning in thought. The wrinkles on his face become more pronounced as he does so, and you are again struck by the toll that age seems to have placed on him. No, yet you seem familiar. I do. Yet? He continues to study your features, then shakes his head. I will concede that there is something familiar about you, sir, and I apologize for any insult my failing memory may be giving you at this moment. I have been preoccupied for some time now. Have we met before? Well, before I reply, let's ask about what he's been preoccupied with. You must excuse me. As of late, I have been beset by troubles. I'm afraid it has been a rather trying time these past few years. Well, sounds like you need help. No. There is little that can be done. He nods at you. Nevertheless, I do appreciate your offer. Thank you. Let's maybe push a bit. Perhaps talking about your troubles will help ease your mind. Ienis sighs. I do not wish to burden you. I lost my daughter not long ago. There was also the fire, but that is another matter. I assume the fire he's talking about is the one with that Ignis started. Tell me about your daughter. Instantly, Ienis seems to collapse into himself. Yes. His business-like facade drains from his face to be replaced with cold despair. My daughter, Deonara, passed away some time ago. Oh. Well, this is a revelation, isn't it? I mean, I'm not really sure what this means. We did meet Deonara way back in episode 4, I think it was. And I got the sense that she might have once been a friend, a girlfriend, a lover, something like that. So maybe this man was supposed to be like our father-in-law? Possibly? Maybe I'm stretching here, maybe I'm not. Honestly, it sounds pretty plausible to me. It has been a while since I've seen Deonara. Actually, I've been thinking that we maybe should pop back to the mortuary and talk to everyone there again, just to see what else they have to say. You know, it's been months actually since I've been to that place. Your daughter Deonara, some time ago. Okay. Interesting. So, we can ask about her. We can tell him that we saw her in the mortuary. Let's ask first. Tell me about her. What was she like? You have really piqued my interest with Deonara, sir. Now you have my undivided attention. Because whatever you are about to say, I feel like it's going to be big. Deonara. She was young. She had recently joined the Society of Sensation, the Sensates. Not an unpleasant faction, but she had also met someone there. She followed him on a journey, and there she died. Her body... He looks pained. I was not even able to recover her body. Okay. She met someone there, followed him on a journey, and died? Could it have been us? I feel like if it had been us, though, he would remember us, right? He took a long, careful look at me, and even though I look like a walking corpse, which I am for all intents and purposes, I feel like he would remember me if I was his, potential son-in-law or something like that. Interesting that she was a sensate, though. I will definitely note this down. Okay. You say she was a sensate.
Updated my journal.
Yes. He becomes slightly more animated, as if warming himself on a precious memory. She had joined them because of her gift, and the fact there was so much about the multiverse that she wanted to experience. The sensates lend themselves readily to the sharing of experience and sensation. I mean, that is their whole deal, Her gift.
Updated my journal.
Oh, yes. Yenis nods. My daughter had the blood of an oracle running in her veins, but it was an unreliable talent. At times she could predict events before they took place. She had sight. She could see through time itself, sift through the threads of fate. We did hear something about the sight ability, right? I think so. Anyway, the blood of an oracle running in her veins. That instantly makes me ask who was her mother, Doesn't seem like that's an available question, though, at least at this point. See through time itself, sift through the threads of fate. That sounds way overpowered. I wonder what she would do with such an ability, Predict events before they took place. Man, I could use that ability for sure. Do you know anything about this man she journeyed with? Little. I barely even knew of his existence until she had departed. By then it was too late to have known him. Well, I guess it makes sense now that he didn't recognize us if he knew us so little. I believe the man was me, but I have forgotten much. Ooh. Do we just say it outright? I want to, Here's the thing. I will tell him, but I'm not sure if I should do it now, because I feel like he might somehow get angry and lock up and not want to answer any more questions, and I want to learn as much as I can from this man. So I'll ask these ones too. Do you know where she went on this journey? She never said. I'm not certain she was capable of saying where they had gone. It must have been a terrible place. Huh. Capable of saying where they had gone? What do you mean by that? Like, how does that make any sense? Are you trying to say that it was like an interplanetary or interplanetary travel sort of thing? That we traveled to another plane of... I keep calling them planes of existence, but they're just planes. To another plane? Like, what are you trying to... Huh. A terrible place, then. Well, how did she die? I do not know. Her body was never recovered. Yanis's face turns blood red and his hands clench into fists. And that is perhaps the most maddening part of this mystery. I will never know what possessed her to run off like that, what happened to her, nor where her body lies now. Forgive me for asking, but how do you know she's dead if you haven't found the body? It is most curious. I went to the Dustmen to see if they had found her body, and they directed me to one of their faction outside the Dustman monument. A Dustman named Death of Names, I believe. Uh-huh. He is said to be an oracle of sorts concerning those who have died. He told me my daughter had died. We did meet Death of Names. Perhaps we could ask him, them, about that. Well, I will say it. I believe that the man your daughter traveled with was me, but I have forgotten much. You! Yanis looks you up and down. You are the one! And you say you have forgotten. Maybe I should have asked about the fire first. Yanis draws himself up. He looks like he is squaring himself for a battle. You have forgotten. But the incident was not so long ago. How can this be? Do we back out of this? I feel uncomfortable, but I did say it, so I think I'll just go through with it. I have a strange condition. I lose myself for a time. Anything you can tell me about myself or your daughter would be invaluable. Countless liars have I known in my tenure in this city. Yanis studies you intently. You do not strike me as one of them, at least on this matter. He sighs. If you truly do not remember, then whatever befell you and my daughter on your journey must have left deep scars. I mean, you can see them right on my face. Well, actually, you can't because Sebastian fixed them. Or some of them, anyway. I'm inclined to agree. Then I ask your word on this. If your memory returns and you discover what has happened to my daughter, return to me so that my mind may at last be at rest on this matter. I will do that. I have no problem vowing to this guy because, honestly, he seems like a stand-up guy, all things considered. My suspicion has pretty much dissipated the second he mentioned Deonara. It pretty much all disappeared. So I should still be cautious, but I think I will do that, you know? I will tell you what has happened to your daughter. Very well, then. Now leave. I wish to be alone with my thoughts. Oh, god damn it. And there he goes. Okay. Listen, I want to ask about the fire. You see Yanis. He turns as you enter and affixes you with a tired gaze. There are dark sags beneath his eyes, and he looks as if he has not been sleeping. Well, he hasn't. He's been standing here the whole time. Hello. You again. Yanis frowns slightly as he stares at you. What is it you want this time? I should really listen to myself more often, because I knew that he would look up after I had mentioned the fact that I might have been a man. I should have gone for the fire question first, but sounds like he hasn't looked up quite yet, so maybe he will still answer this one thing. Actually, he will answer everything. Okay, that's good. Can you tell me about the fire? There is nothing much to say about the matter. It was a strange, localized fire. I cannot imagine what would have been precious in the documents that were burned, but someone must have wanted them destroyed. Oh, okay. So we're talking about a completely different fire then. I'm glad I asked. So someone burned your documents? Can you tell us what was burned? Probably not. Any luck in locating the person? No. Neither the Harmonium nor the Mercy Killers have had any fortune in locating the person responsible. I see. Can you tell me what was burned? A number of old legacies were burned, and some mementos and other keepsakes of value only to me. Legacies, then. I hope he doesn't go into the whole spiel of explaining inheritance. When I say legacies, I want to hear what they were, specifically. And of course he does. Of course he goes into his whole... Okay, never mind. Yeah, I've asked all of this. Maybe I'll just ask about Deonara again. Is there anything else? Well, actually, I can tell him that I had met her. And, you know what? I will. I mean, I did vow to tell him, so I'll do it. I saw a woman by that name entered in the Mortuary Memorial Hall. She had become a ghost and claimed she knew me. What? Yanis looks flustered. What did you just say? Her spirit now resides in the Memorial Hall. Yeah, let's tell him the full thing. I spoke with her for a time, and she seems to be in distress. You Spoke to her? Ienis seems to become more confused by the moment. What distresses her? Honestly, I'm not certain. It is probably me, but I'm not certain. It's been too long, you know, we gotta come back to her. I'm not certain. I wasn't able to make out what she was saying. I will travel there as soon as I am able and investigate the matter for myself. He nods at you. If your words carry truth, sir, then I am indebted to you. Right. Perhaps I shall collect on that debt another time. Farewell. Wow, okay. Lots to unpack there. Well, actually, I did kind of unpack it as I was going through it. So this is Deonara's father. I think the logical course of action right now would be to actually come back to Deonara. So maybe, just maybe, we will hold off on exploring the rest of the clerk's ward and go back to the mortuary while this is fresh in my mind, you know? Undersigil. What's Undersigil? Is it not the buried village? Okay, so it's a different part of Sigil. Interesting. Anyway, we will explore that later. Right now, I think the mortuary is the best place to go. Like I said, I have been wanting to come back there anyway, so I'm glad now to have an excuse and also a reason to think that there will certainly be some new dialogue options to unlock. Now, where is the mortuary? Is it there? Is it this part of the... I think it is, right?
All right.
Yeah. Hang on, Pox, Pox, what was your deal again? Oh, right, he's the one who offers to smuggle me into the mortuary. Do I need to smuggle myself there, or can I just, Oh, it's been sealed. Well, that explains it. Why, though? You see a pale-faced dustman standing guard over the front gate. He is staring off across the city rooftops with a distant expression. As you approach, he turns to face you. Yes. Some questions. I'd like to enter the mortuary. What is your purpose within the mortuary? Well... I don't know. What's the best option to pick here? Maybe I'm here to see Dahl. He nods. Very well, follow me. And there we are. Mortuary first floor. After quite some time, huh? So I guess I will go see Dahl, but before I do, let's try and remember where Deonara was. It was in this part of the map. Oh, I was just gonna say, I'm not sure if it was on the first floor. It was. Okay. Deonara, how are you? It's been a while.
You have returned to me. Can it be that your memories have returned?
Oh yeah, that's why I think she was like a girlfriend or lover, because she literally calls me love. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Once again, Deonara materializes. This time her face is filled with desperation and her arms are outstretched as if she is reaching for something. As she fades in, the desperation on her face changes to relief. My love, you have returned to me. Can it be that your memories have returned? Kinda, sorta. A bunch of them have. I have some questions. Oh, come on. Is there really nothing about the father? Also, the soundtrack. This soundtrack actually is specific to the mortuary, isn't it? Yeah. It's like a variation on one of the other Hive ones, but it's specific to this part. Anyway, my memories are lost. I think I feel the stirrings of memory. Tell me more. Perhaps your words shall chase the shadows from my mind. Okay, these are the same questions, I believe, which is why I'm not reading them out loud, because they are the same questions. Blessed and cursed. Death rejects you. Your memories have abandoned you. Of course, You once claimed you loved me and that you would love me until death claimed us both. I believed that, never knowing the truth of who you were, what you were. And what is that, pray tell? We have spoken on your nature before. Leonara's face takes on a distant expression. We shall not do so again. Right. Yeah, well. This is hurtful. I'm not gonna say that.
I shall wait for you in death's halls, my love.
She closes her eyes, and with an ethereal whisper she fades. Well, honestly, that was kind of disappointing. I was sure there would be something new there. Now, what about those giant skeletons? Can I deal with them now? I remember how they chased me the first time I was here. Oh, I can talk to them? Alright. Before you is a giant skeleton in ornate bronze armor. This is crazy. I'm pretty sure they chased me before. Oh, but that must have been because I angered everyone in the mortuary, whereas now I actually asked to be let in, right? I'm sure that if I had been smuggled into the mortuary, they would be chasing me right now. Before you is a giant skeleton in ornate bronze armor. The armor has been bolted onto the skeleton's frame, and a series of elaborate symbols has been carved across the breastplate. You wonder where the skeleton came from. You weren't aware they made humans in this size. The huge blade in its hands looks like it weighs as much as a wagon cart. Mind if I hold that blade? That's funny. That sounds like I'm trying to trick him, and that's probably what it is. Examine it carefully. Sure, these are just like... oh, I can use this, okay. Maybe let's use my Story's Bone Style ability. The skeleton looks too long dead to answer any of your questions. Either that, or its head is too high up for it to hear you. Honestly, I don't think I've successfully used that ability a single time. Every time I remember to do it, it's always like, oh no, this person has been dead for way too long. I guess I don't really understand how the ability works, but I'll figure it out, I'm sure. Examine the skeleton. The skeleton's intricate bronze armor is riveted onto its ribcage and shoulder blades with a series of iron bolts. As you study the frame behind the armor, you notice the same iron bolts are set into the skeleton's shoulder, elbow, pelvic? You mean pelvis? And knee joints. A mass of thick leather cords and heavy knotted ropes run along the length of the skeleton's arms and legs, woven in such a pattern that they resemble muscles and tendons. Well, I guess I'll examine the armor. Despite the armor's obvious age, it looks well cared for. It shines brightly, and the symbols engraved on the breastplate seem to flow in the firelight, shifting slightly whenever you try to focus on them. Okay, this goes deep. Study the symbols, I guess. Almost subconsciously, you let your gaze relax as you look at the symbols. After a moment, the symbols cease shifting and resolve into a trail of runes that run up and down the breastplate. Strangely enough, their interlocking pattern of runes reminds you of chains. And with that thought, you suddenly recall that these runes are some sort of warding enchantment. Warding enchantment, huh? I guess I'll try and recall it. This goes way deeper than I thought. You study the pattern of runes as they weave their way across the breastplate. On its most basic level, the runes are a lesser armoring enchantment, but several skull-shaped runes and spherical tracings along the edges of the armor make you suspect several greater necromantic and warding enchantments are woven in as well. Necromantic and warding, okay. Touching the skeleton will most likely cause it to awaken and defend itself. Oh, you mean it's not awake? I thought it was awake. I mean, that's why they were chasing me around, you know? I think there were two, so that's why I say they. I think that's why they were chasing me around before. I mean, I'll leave it in peace if it leaves me in peace, you know? What is this? Crescent hatchet? Oh, well, not really relevant to us at this point. Oh, there are actually 3? 4, maybe? 4, okay. Oof, right, well, I would not like to fight those, actually. Now that I think about it, that sounds, yeah, it sounds rather unpleasant, doesn't it? There are only 3 of us and 4 of them. And we don't have Mort. We don't have our best boy. So, I guess I'll try to check on Dal, just in case. If I can actually remember where Dal resides. Is it not somewhere around here? On the second floor? Maybe it was even higher up. Do I even remember the librarian? This huge corpse is standing silently in a corner of the room, facing the wall. He looks to have been a heavy-set man in his early years, and judging by the condition of his body, has died only recently. Well, that's good, because that means I should be able to use my ability on him, right? The freshly stitched number on his forehead reads 1664. This corpse looks like it is serving as a librarian, for it is carrying a huge stack of books in its arms. Examine the books again, I guess? Old mortuary ledgers. Right. Okay, so we will try to use the ability. The corpse does not stir, despite the fact that it looks recently dead. I'm glad that the writers accounted for this, but I also hate it. I also hate that they're not letting me to do this. It's not helpful to use this ability if you just tell me, despite the fact it looks recently dead, it does not seem able to answer any of your questions. Okay, well, I guess I don't really care then, you know? Okay, Dal, that's where you are. Dal glances up as you approach. So, you have returned. Dal takes a rasping breath and breaks into a violent coughing spell. After a moment, it subsides and he returns to his raspy breathing. Greetings again, restless one. Well, and I can tell him about someone disguised as a zombie and... nothing else really. Okay. As you turn to leave, Dal speaks. Know this. I do not envy you, restless one. To be reborn as you would be a curse. As you would be a curse that I could not bear. You must come to terms with it. At some point your path will return, do you hear? Dal coughs, the sound rattling in his throat. It is the way of all things flesh and bone. Well, and with that, I think I'm out of here, because there honestly doesn't seem anything new for me to do here. And if there is, it's pretty well hidden. Well, this is where I think I'll just step out, because I don't want to spend the entire episode running around looking for stuff, and I also don't really feel like doing a lot of editing for this particular episode, so I think I'll just, hang on, what is this? The door is locked. You will need a key. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Well, I guess if it says I will need a key, I will need a key,
Why
but
not?
the mechanism that operates this doesn't have a conventional lock, meaning that... And maybe warded against simple spells. Okay, so we should try to get our hands on this key.
All right.
I'm not quite sure where to get it, though. You know what? I will look into this another time, but I think this episode, I guess we will just keep exploring the clerk's ward. God, it's so hard to say. Clerk's ward. And, yeah, maybe... I'll keep thinking about this. Maybe do let me know. Maybe Bexy just a little bit. Let me know if I miss anything really important here. Or, you know, just don't tell me outright, but just give me a hint of where I should go, maybe. Alright, I guess we'll go back to the clerk's ward.
Alright.
Unfortunately, we didn't really... I mean, I hoped that we would at least be able to tell Deonara about her father. I guess there is really nothing to tell, except the fact that he misses her, which is pretty obvious, all things considered, but,
Alright.
I don't know, I was hoping for something, and, unfortunately, that did not, there was nothing for us to do there. I'm trying to think, should we keep going south, or should we go to the Brothel of slating intellectual lusts? Well, we should first defeat the shadow that's surely coming for us. And then, I guess we will go to the Brothel. while we're here. Because I'm quite... Wow, no damage there. I'm quite curious what these intellectual lusts look like. There's someone calling for our attention, but we don't really care at this point, you know? Ooh. New music.
I'm gone.
Oh. Okay, we have a devil here? And a mage, maybe? Let's talk to the brothel patron first. This kindly-looking older man turns as you approach and nods politely. Greetings. Something I might help you with? Sure. Questions? Certainly. Go ahead, young man. Well, here's a question you didn't see coming. What are you doing here? The old man chuckles pleasantly. What most men do here, young fellow? Chatting with the fair ladies of the brothel. Chatting, you say? Any of them in particular you'd recommend? He strokes his beard, frowning in thought. I would have to say... No, strike that. Well, young man, I am unsure of what you are after. Were I certain of what sort of conversation you would find enjoyable, perhaps I would be more qualified to make a suggestion. You know, I love this sort of double entendre that's going on here, because I feel like when they were talking about conversation, they actually do mean conversation. I feel like the brothel name is sort of a bait and switch. Like, it's called the Brothel of Intellectual Lusts. So I think what really goes on around here is that they get a room and then behind closed doors, they talk like philosophy and shit. Because that's what this whole game is about, right? It's philosophy. And then maybe there's also some sex, but who knows, you know? So... really a curious sort of establishment, and I'm pretty sure I've seen this trope of like an intellectual type of prostitution. I've seen this trope somewhere, I can't quite recall where. Somewhere in literature, surely. Maybe a movie. Actually, I think there was this one short story written by Woody Allen that was about something like this, and I have no idea what the story was called, so this anecdote is not helpful at all. Anyway, let's keep going with the game. What sort of conversation I would find enjoyable? Well, if someone could fill me in on the 5 remaining factions of Sigil. I'm not really sure if there are 5 remaining factions. I mean, maybe they're the ones I know. I just they just weren't considered important enough to be included in what was his name's dialogue, you know? Well, another question then. Certainly, go ahead, young man. Well, tell me about this place then. The old man smiles, his eyes twinkle. I can tell you that it is a most wondrous establishment. The ladies here are oh so enchanting. Even the deliciously mouthy Kimaski, God, that's difficult to pronounce, Kimaski? Something like that. Kimaski, in her own special way. But please, young sir, speak to Fall from Grace of the brothel. As the brothel's proprietor, she may share with you much greater insights into the place than I have to offer. That's all I wish to know, really. So you're the proprietor, huh? You definitely look like a devil to me, just based on the wings. You look like Mizora from Baldur's Gate 3. That's my frame of reference for devils in this sort of setting. Before you is a stunning golden-haired woman dressed in an azure and violet dress with 2 long, elegant wings draped across her shoulders. She is surveying the room with a slight smile. She is easily the most beautiful woman you have ever seen. God damn, what a slight on Deonara, you know? I guess I'll greet her then. Greetings.
Well met, traveler. How may I help you?
Ah, she's voice acted. One of the few characters to be voice acted, really. Actually, very few now that I think about it. Deonara is one, but who else? I can't remember now. I don't think Farad was even voice acted, right? And he felt quite a bit more important, but because he was part of the main quest, whereas this is just like a random establishment. Then again, it might not be random. It might have something to do with the main quest too, later on in the story. How may I help you? Well, the woman turns as you address her. She takes your measure, then nods slightly. You notice her eyes are azure, the exact same color as her dress. Nice. Well met, traveler. She reaches up to brush back a stray lock of golden hair. How may I help you? Well, who are you then?
Updated my journal.
I am called Fall from Grace. She studies you for a moment. You are new to Sigil, are you not? I mean, depends on your definition of new, you know? Depends on how you... Depends on exactly what you mean. Well, Fall from Grace, that's an interesting name. Let's not talk about me, let's talk about you. That's kind of my go-to strategy, if you've noticed. Like, every time there's an option to talk about them instead, that's what I do. She nods. I'm pleased that you like it, but I'm sure that you did not come all this way to flatter me. What is it I can help you with? Well, what is this place? This is the brothel of slating intellectual lusts. She studies you for a moment. I take it by your question that you did not intend to partake of this establishment? I mean, who knows? Brothel of slating intellectual lusts. Well, what kind of brothel is this then? I established this brothel to give those lustful fevers that strike the mind more avenues of expression rather than simply carnal. Much pleasure can be had in conversation and engaging in the verbal arts with others. Oh, well, that's basically what I suspected. So this is a brothel where there's no intercourse? Wow, okay, that was a really open question there. Yes, this is a brothel with no intercourse, only of a psychological nature. Rest assured, it is still quite stimulating. Okay, so you were saying there is no sex going on behind closed doors. There really is just conversation. Alright, I have to ask, why did you establish such a place? Fall from Grace raises an eyebrow. That is an odd question. She frowns. I don't think anyone has ever asked me that, at least directly. Really, I find it hard to believe. If all that you do around here is converse, you must have had conversations about a lot of stuff, and this feels like a pretty basic question, actually. I mean, it is a direct question. I don't think there is anything wrong with direct questions, so why did you? Part of the answer to your question requires that you know that I am a member of the Society of Sensation, of course. It's starting to make sense now. Of course she is. I should have put 2 and 2 together right away, honestly. The Society is supposed to be the biggest faction in Sigil. Deonara was also a member of the Society, which is not relevant, but that's something that we learned a couple of minutes ago. So, yeah, that's definitely something to... that makes a lot of sense with regard to an establishment like this one. Our faction believes that one should experience as much of the multiverse as possible. Okay, and that's why you established the place. This brothel is intended to slate the lusts of even the hardened intellectual. It is designed to stimulate the mind, to heighten one's awareness of themselves and others, to create new ways of experiencing another person. It is for those who seek something more than the shallow physical pleasures that fill the hive and lower wards. Yes, those shallow physical pleasures that I haven't actually partaken in. I've seen a lot of harlots and prostitutes and, you know, ladies of the night, but never once did I actually make use of their services. I guess I just kind of forgot to do it. Maybe we will do it at some point. You know, for research, of course, into what this game has to offer, right? You gotta experience all the game to form a coherent opinion of the game. I'll shut up now. I see, so this establishment just encourages intellectual fencing rather than, well, the other kind of fencing. What a way with words you have, Nameless One. The women here must be special indeed. The women here are aspiring sensates. They have come to me in search of instruction to prepare themselves to enter the faction. Also, many of them have a natural grasp of language that can shatter the crust of the most hardened individual. A grasp of language, I see. Is it really just women here? Are there no male... Well, I guess I can't really call them prostitutes, can I? Conversationalists? Are there no male conversationalists in this place? So the ladies here are ladies in training, so to speak. Yes, I hope that by learning the art of language and its subtleties that the patrons and the students here may learn more about themselves. One is only as limited as their command of the language. To be able to employ language to evoke emotions in others is a tremendous skill. Sure. Okay, other questions maybe, if there are any. Oh, there are actually a lot of them. I came here looking for help, did I? I'm not sure, I mean, I could use help with a lot of things. I'm not sure which one of them she could help me with in particular, though. Would you like to join me on... I'm sorry, is she a playable character? What? Now I gotta check the journal and see the playable character tab and see if she's there, but that's gonna spoil things for me, you know? Maybe it's better not to know. Then again, I will see it anyway at some point, because whenever I open the journal, it always, you know, or whenever I open the NPC section of the journal, it always starts me there, so if she's on the list, I will see it right away. If I may ask, Lady Grace, the wings on your back, you are not human, I take it? She's one of the fiends, one of the succubi, she is. She'll take your measure, then she'll take your soul to the lower planes, so she will. Ah, thank you for chiming in, Anna. We haven't heard your charming voice in the entire episode. Your companion is correct. I am a lesser Tanari, more specifically a succubus. Of course she's a succubus. She gives a soft sigh. I'm afraid we're a little too common in the lower planes and elsewhere for your own good. Most of my race spend their time seducing mortals with various pleasures of the flesh. Ah, okay. And you're like a subversion of the trope then, by seeking pleasures of the mind instead. Oh, I can actually ask her about her. And you?
Updated my journal.
I'd like to think that I have distanced myself from that. It is ultimately a trivial and non-productive way for one to spend one's time here in the multiverse. There is much more to life. Wouldn't you agree? I guess I would. It's not like I have another option, but I guess I do agree. Can you tell me about the Sensates? The Sensates are the faction of Sigil that is devoted to experience. Without experience, without sensation, we are blinded to much of the multiverse. Thus, Sensates seek to experience as much as possible. When all is experienced, then the truth of the multiverse shall reveal itself. Nothing new here, really. I was hoping that she, as a member, would be able to tell me just a little bit more. Interesting philosophy. Could I join the Sensates? She smiles. To join the Sensates, one needs only be a student of life. Okay. But like the faction, could I join the faction? I'm not saying that I want to do it right away, but
Updated my journal.
Oh. Of course. Forgive my teasing. Grace nods. Oh, she just calls her... Okay, she can just be called Grace for short. I guess that's nice. Fall from Grace is kind of a mouthful, isn't it? If you wish to join the Sensates, I would inquire at the Civic Fest Hall. Someone there should be able to help you. Right. Other questions, maybe? Would you like to join me on my travels? Anna stiffens, then starts muttering under her breath. Who's to say she'll be coming with us? We don't need the likes of her, so's we don't. Aw, are you jealous, Anna? Is that what's going on here? I don't think it is, truthfully. She's supposed to be an indep, I believe. She's supposed to be an independent. So, I guess she could kind of feel resentful towards Sensates, so maybe that's the way the wind blows, but... Travel with you? Fall from grace smiles slightly. She seems to be ignoring Anna. Oof. That's rather forward of you. Wow, we have a lot of options here. I'd rather be honest with my intentions. You seem extremely pleasant and well-versed in the ways of the planes. Okay, cool down. A companion with that kind of knowledge would be welcome. Actually, that's right. Our most knowledgeable companion was Mort, and we lost him, so... Or we can just say... That's the way I am. Or maybe... I mean, how exciting can this place be? And of course, and this is actually something that has occurred to me before. I didn't mention it, but it feels weird to spend your whole life shut in this place if you want to experience as much of the world as possible. So, option 4, you're a sensate. Surely there must be a limit to how much you can learn here. And I guess that's the one I will say. I think you would be surprised. If you want me to accompany you on your travels, I need a far more compelling reason than that. Oh, so she really is a companion. I mean, that pretty much confirmed it, right? Well, I'll see if I can find a more compelling reason. Farewell. I bet she's there, in the journal. Hang on, how do I open it? There she is. Fall from Grace. Fall from Grace is a succubus, one of the Tanari, a creature literally formed of raw chaos and evil. Her body and mind the perfect template to tempt a man of any species, any age. She is the proprietress of the Brothel of slating intellectual lusts. Thinking about the voiced characters, actually. The only voiced characters in this game are the companions, and the nameless one, of course, and Deonara, and I can't really think of anyone else, to be honest with you. Maybe there was someone else, but I can't think of anyone else. Which would kind of lead me to believe that Deonara is a potential companion, but she's not listed as one, so I guess she's not. But she just happens to be voiced. Very interesting. Right, but these characters are all voiced. Well, I don't think I've heard Ignis, because we haven't gotten him as a companion yet. Okay, let's see who else we have here. We have here another brothel patron, or is it the same one? No, I think this is actually this... No, it's not the man with the wand. He looks completely different. Okay, let's talk to this one, just to see if he has anything to say. This dashing nobleman eyes your advance with an air of contempt. I am here to speak with a lady, sir, and not to one such as yourself. I certainly hope you hadn't planned on pestering me with questions and the like. I'll advise you to show some respect. Let's see what that gets us. He closes his eyes and exhales slowly, as if to calm himself. If such an act is required to rid myself of you, then so be it. If you would be so kind, sir, I would most humbly ask that you leave my side and seek conversation elsewhere. Fine. Have a good one. Interesting that it seems that even the patrons in here have some unique dialogues, so I will make sure to talk to all of them. Now, this is Dolora, which, of course, is a pain that's derived from the word from pain. So maybe she has something to do with it. Instantly reminds me of the Lady of Pain, of course. Dolora. This dark-haired, pale-skinned woman has a cultured, refined look about her. As she turns to you, you note that her eyes, which you had previously thought to be grey, are the color of brushed steel. Honestly, I'm not sure I could recognize the color of brushed steel. Greetings. The woman's voice is soft, calm, and without inflection. It has a certain far-away quality, as if somehow not attached to her. Maybe she's a ghost too. Greetings. I am called Dolora. May I serve you somehow? In what ways can you serve me, Dolora? What a strange question to ask. Let's do it. She blinks her eyes, then touches her hand to her heart, bowing her head slightly. I am able to debate any scholarly or academic matter quite proficiently, if that is your wish. I am also well versed in various games of strategy, should you wish to play something, though I have the materials for a few such games here. Can we actually do all those things? I would love to do that. One of my favorite things about Disco Elysium was being able to play some board games with Kit, you know? I think there was Suzerain was a board game that you could play. I'm not sure if it was exactly a board game, but it was definitely like a game for two that you could play just like in this dialogue window here, and it was so fun. Something of a more physical nature. Oh, come on, man, let's not open with that. Debate, you say? Dolora nods. That is correct. I am neither a tome nor a tutor. I have no desire to educate my patrons. Should you have a matter to discuss, however, the 15 factions and their effect on Sigillian politics, the most effective battle stratagems for warring in Acheron, the meaning of existence itself, I would be most pleased to choose a counterpoint and engage you in debate. Well, I love this. Choose a topic, see if you can best her. You choose a topic and begin. The debate lasts a long time as the two of you exchange points and counterpoints, each attempting to methodically undermine the other's position. I'm so sad that I don't actually get to choose the points and counterpoints. Oh well. As you speak, a strange feeling begins to come over you. A memory trying to surface. Allow it to surface. I wonder how different my playthrough would be if I kept repressing my memories. I think that could be a really interesting thing to try, but not on this playthrough. On this playthrough, I want to remember as much as possible. Memories of a great hall begin to form in your mind. A vast place full of well-dressed elites. A formal ball was taking place. Before you was a small, impeccably dressed fellow who wore a golden medallion. It was emblazoned with a symbol you dimly recall as the Sign of One. The two of you stood in a circle of onlookers who've gathered to listen to your debate. About these memories, I wish that the game had listed all my memories, all my remembered memories in one place where I could easily review them, you know? Because this way they either end up in the journal or maybe maybe they don't actually end up there at all. I'm not sure. And I would really like just an easy way to see all my past memories, because it feels like an important mechanic in this game. You know, these memories. It feels like an important backstory. So either it is somewhere in the game and I haven't found it yet, or it's a very missed opportunity, I would say. Continue the memory then. But that's impossible, the man was saying, looking perplexed. Oh, but it is, you recalled yourself replying. I've made several inarguable points and given you a number of examples. You simply don't exist. Brilliant. Having a philosophical debate about your opponent's existence. Just brilliant. Chef's kiss. But you can't. Were I to accept that, I'd... Of course, you would cease to exist because that's how things work in this world. Kind of. Yes, you'd cease to exist. And without a flash of light or puff of smoke, with no fanfare of any sort, the man was simply gone. Okay. First of all, this is ridiculous. Second of all, this is so incredibly cool. This is just such a brilliant sort of bit of lore, or lore mechanic, or world mechanic, whatever you want to call it. It's such a brilliant thing about this world. I absolutely love it. And it's also deeply terrifying, right? Because if you stop believing you exist, you actually can cease to exist. That is just crazy. I guess it would take a lot of effort to convince you that you don't exist, but apparently a lot of effort is what the Nameless One has been able to put in, you know? Or, well, at least at some point in his life. The man was simply gone. That's just utterly brilliant. The onlookers oohed and ahed, some clapped. You remember giving a flourishing bow and walking away, a small satisfied smile upon your lips. I'm sorry, it's just so ridiculous. Just, you debate your interlocutor, and they just vanish in a puff of smoke. Like, what the hell is that? You suddenly realize Dolora is watching you closely. Are you feeling well? We might finish our discussion at another time, should you like. No, let's keep going. Interesting that I don't even have a choice here. I just gotta say, let's continue the debate. As hard-pressed as you are to beat Dolora's infallible sense of logic, you eventually win out. She merely nods in approval. You are a most skilled debater. This there is no denying. I do feel, though, that had I time to perform some research, you might not have bested me. Oh, come on. Come on, man. This is literally the equivalent of debating someone in the modern age and just giving them great arguments one after the other, and eventually the person is just like, okay, I guess I'm stupid, but if I had been allowed to use Google during the debate, I'm sure I would have won, you know? Like, yeah, it's possible, but come on, man, cut me a little slack here. Don't be a sore loser. Thanks. Dolora nods. If you would like, we can debate once more upon the same topic. I could argue your position this time, should you desire it. Well, yeah, let's do it. Oh, come on, I don't have the option to say yes. Wait, are you always so ruthless in a debate? Dolora nods. Mistress Grace instructed me to show no mercy, for another of her students always allows a patron to win after a lengthy debate. It was Mistress Grace's desire that I provide a different sort of experience for the clientele. Interesting. Makes sense. I see. Can we play a game now? Of course. Is there anything in particular you wish to play? Oh. No, I don't really remember any games. Okay. Scratch that. Our main quest from now on is to find more games and remember more games, because that's what I want to do in this game. Oh, okay, never mind. I guess I don't have to look for one. Here then, allow me to show you one. Dolora brings out a thin, lacquered box which unfolds into a small board marked with a grid. The contents of the box prove to be a number of polished stone chips, half of them black, half of them white. This game goes by many names. Shall I explain the rules to you? I mean, that does sound like a couple of real board games, so I wonder if this is going to be like something made specifically for this game, or if it's going to be like an equivalent of a real-life game. Yes, please. Dolora explains to you the rules of the game, how the chips are moved, how one bests one's opponent. It seems somehow faintly familiar to you. The rules are simple, yes, but a great deal of complexity lies within the game itself. It takes a great deal of time to master. Shall we play? Let's do it. As you play, you come to realize that you've done so before. You recall various ploys and strategies that have won your previous games, and employ every trick you know to beat her. Suddenly a strange feeling comes over you, a memory trying to surface. Alright, allow it to surface, baby. Memories of a smoke-filled field of battle begin to fill your mind. Atop a great hill overlooking the fighting you sat, mounted upon a massive four-legged beast. The braying of horns carried your orders to the troops below. A four-legged beast? What could it have been? I don't think I know what it could have been just yet. I don't remember meeting any four-legged beasts. Certainly not ones that I could sit on. The only four-legged beasts I can remember is the Lim, which no. Even as you watched, your forces divided, fleeing left and right as the foreign army fought its way up the hill to slay the enemy lord. You. The fools, you had thought, lips curling into a wicked smile. My knights shall charge down the hillside and stop their advance in an instant. And at that very moment my retreating footmen will fall in to crush their flanks, and yet another victory soon to be mine. You suddenly realize Dolora is watching you intently. Are you feeling well? We might take up the game another day if you so wish. If we keep doing this to her, I think she will be genuinely concerned for our mental well-being. Okay, so what is this memory? This is like me actually trying to conquer something, or... and winning? So was I like a great general in one of my past lives? You know, this feels just like a mosaic of my past lives, you know? Each memory is one little piece of the mosaic. So I was a skilled debater, I was a great general, I was Deonara's lover, you know? So many different types of memories. I mean, I say that they are, you know, each from a different lifetime, because it kind of feels impossible to be a master of everything in each lifetime, you know? And when it comes to these two things that we just now uncovered with Dolora, it seems that we were very skilled at both debate and this board game, which I guess a person could be skilled at both, but if this keeps happening in the future, we get more memories of me being like a, I don't know, professional magician or something like that, which is actually what we're trying to become now. I guess that might mean that they are just from all my different lives, you know? Let's continue the game. Dolora plays excellently, counteracting all but your most crafty moves, but eventually your feints and calculating maneuvers win over her well-crafted strategies. She nods approvingly as she begins to put the game away. You are a fine player, perhaps a master. I commend you for your skill. I wonder if we can find the other lady here who always lets people win at debates. Just a random thought. Thanks, but do you always play so mercilessly? Yes. Dolora nods. Mistress Grace instructed me to hold nothing back for another one of her students' plays so that her opponent will always just manage to win. It was Mistress Grace's desire that I provide a different sort of experience, a true challenge rather than something that might be more pleasing to one's ego. I wonder if I can actually find these two ladies who will always let me win. Some other questions then. Oh. Dolora casts her eyes to the floor with a sound that might be a sad sigh. I am willing to serve you as a patron, but I have no wish to answer other questions at this time. My apologies, but I fear you shall simply have to bear with that for the time being. Anything I can help you with?
Updated my journal.
She looks up from the floor and into your eyes. Once more you're struck by the pale smoothness of skin, the cold depths of her silvery eyes. No, I fear not. My troubles are a matter of the heart. In time, I think, all things shall be resolved. Well, matter of the heart. Tell me more. Are you certain there's nothing I could do, as the professional problem solver in this game? Certain. Dolora pauses as if thinking. No, I am not. My first love, Merryman, possesses still the keys to my heart. So long as he has them, I shan't be free to love another. This is the cause of my melancholy. Well, why don't you seek him out and speak with him? Dolora shakes her head. I may not leave this place. The reasons why are deeply personal and not to be shared with strangers, even ones who might bestow a kindness upon me. But suffice to say that I cannot seek out Merryman myself. Okay, I will find him and speak to him on your behalf. I'm not gonna do the for price thing because frankly I have too much gold anyway.
Updated my journal.
Dolora nods, the slightest hint of a smile appearing on her lips. She bows her head. Were you to find and speak with Merryman, I would be most grateful. He is a member of the Society of Sensation, so you may wish to ask for him at the Civic Fest Hall. I mean, everyone seems to be a member of the Society of Sensation around here, so that almost comes as a given. Now, this is the patron we spoke to. This is Vivian. This is also a patron. This looks like a lady, though, so maybe there are also male conversationalists.
Right. We need to set up camp now.
Fatigued? Oh. I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't even know my NPCs could get fatigued. I don't think I've ever seen that. Have I? Huh. Anyway, yeah, let me talk to her. This older-looking noblewoman greets you with an elegant curtsy. Well met, sir. Might I be so bold as to say, before you ask anything of me, that I am a patron here and not one of the students? Ah, you're a patron then. She nods. That is correct, young sir. I came here one evening to see for myself why my husband was constantly paying visits to this place. I became fast friends with a number of the prostitutes, and so here I am. It's not only for men to enjoy a good conversation, you know. I wouldn't dare suggest anything of the sort. Interesting that you call them prostitutes, though. I guess that is the proper term to use around here, even though there is actually no prostitution going on. Maybe. Possibly. More questions? Of course. Well, what are you doing here? Stopping by to speak with some friends here is all. I'm one of the few female patrons of the Brothel of Slating Intellectual Lusts. Sure, anyone you'd recommend I speak to? It depends upon what sort of person you would fancy speaking with, sir. Myself, well, I'm friends with Vivian and Kasai Ceres, and occasionally chat a bit with that dear little sunfly Nenny. Wow, okay, that's 3 more names. How many prostitutes are there in this place? I mean, this is Vivian, so that's one of them, but this place seems huge, honestly. This feels way bigger than I imagined. Can you tell me about this place? The Brothel is a school established by Fall from Grace. She tutors aspiring members of the Society of Sensation the delicate art of language and communication. If what I have been told is correct, the brothel supports itself with donations from its wealthier patrons. Right. Let me ask about Fall from Grace at least, because, I want to ask what other people think about her too. Yes, the prostitutes call her Mistress Grace. She generally greets patrons in the brothel's foyer. You might seek her out there should you wish to speak with her. I see. Okay, not an opinion then. Just factual information. Oh wow, my characters are all getting fatigued. Well, I guess if I'm gonna rest, this is the place to do it, right? I just gotta find the right person to talk to. But yeah, I was gonna say this place feels huge. Now that I opened the map, it actually doesn't feel as huge, but there are still a good number of characters here. And Vivian here seems to be wearing very little, actually. Let's talk to her then. This tall, elegant woman with her sharp features and regal demeanor is a striking example of aristocratic beauty. Her clothes appear to be spun of silver thread, and a small phial dangles from her necklace. She is perfumed with an exotic, erotic scent that seems to draw you towards her. Okay. Sure. She looks you over, arching an eyebrow with what you sense to be disdain. Greetings. My name is Vivian. Am I to presume I am being summoned? Not exactly. Just answer a few questions. She nods imperiously. Go on, then. What's that incredible smell? She smiles at you. I thank you for the compliment, but I assure you this particular aroma is a bland and paltry odor in comparison to my personal scent. She sighs. Your what now? Yes, I have a particular scent that seems to have gone wandering. It is somewhat difficult to keep in one place. I hope that someone did not take it by accident, though you never know with the ladies around here. She frowns. So, by any chance have you smelled it somewhere? I'm sorry, what? Okay, I'm not really sure how to respond to this. I mean, I haven't really smelled anything anywhere. I'm struck by how sort of haughty this person seems to be compared to everyone else here. This part is almost making me think like she doesn't really like the other ladies around here. How can a scent go wandering? Vivian shakes her head. I had meant to infer that it had been taken. The ladies here are a bit jealous at times and have been known to take my various perfumes for themselves. This time, though, someone has absconded with my own personal scent. I worked on that scent, perfected it, and now poof, 'tis gone. I need not bear such annoyances. Vivian stomps her feet. I want that scent back, and I want it now. Okay. She's like the archetype of the spoiled princess from the fairy tale. How would you know if you found it? Well, I guess she could just smell it, right? You would know it by smell, I assure you. It is quite striking, especially to men. Alright, I can help you. Vivian seems dubious. Are you certain? I do not wish to impose. You know, I'm kind of tempted to say this, but with how annoying of a person she seems to be, I expect a reward. Vivian rolls her eyes. As I should have expected from your brutish mercenary appearance. Very well, recover my scent and I shall aid you with yours. I'm sorry, what now? Mine, She smirks, then points at you. Yes, yours, that foul, vinegary smell. Not that bad. She sniffs, then wrinkles her nose. 'Tis in your skin, too. No bathing will remove that stink. Come to think of it, the Nameless One hasn't really bathed since we started playing as him. There hasn't really been an opportunity. How would you do this, and how could it benefit me? I guess it just raises my charisma, right? To answer your first question, I possess certain skills, magical in nature, which I shan't elaborate upon further, which allow me to create and change one's scent. Handy. And the benefits? You simply cannot deny the fact that the smell of a man or woman plays an important part in how well one is received. Whether you've been told so or not, I'm quite certain people are at least a tad put off by that deathly aroma of yours. It might increase your charisma considerably to smell a bit better, you know? See, now I'm starting to think, like, is the end game of this to basically look like a regular person? Because we've got people, you know, fixing our scars, we've got people fixing our smell, maybe down the line there would be someone fixing our skin, like the color of it, and eventually I might just look like a regular person. I might pass for someone who, well, has never died. Very well, I'll find your scent for you.
My journal.
The deal is done then. Should you run across it, let me know. I am somewhat anxious to get it back. A one-of-a-kind scent, really. Okay, can you tell me about this place? Mistress Grace's Brothel. 'Tis a school where she tutors us in the art of language and conversation, the ability to affect another with one's words, and to gain new insights into both them and ourselves. For many, 'tis in preparation to become a member of the Society of Sensation. I see, and maybe what are you doing here? I am one of Mistress Grace's prostitutes, one of her students, here in the brothel. I am working to get myself into the Sensate faction, and my family recommended this establishment as one means by which I could examine my inner self to see if I wanted to join. Yes, right, your inner self. While judging by your clothing, you also like other people to examine your outer self. I won't ask about this. Well, maybe I will. Okay, she just tells me to ask someone else. Right. Then there's Kasai Ceres. That's another name that we have heard. What about this door, though? Who's there? Oh, yeah, that's Skimaxi Addertongue. Addertongue doesn't sound encouraging. Yeah, so there are a bunch more people to talk to anyway. I think I'll leave this episode here for today, and we will keep exploring the brothel in the next one. Thank you for joining me. I have been Savle, and I'll see you then. Bye.